Well, hey, it's Divinity Dave, and I hope you're having a good day. I wanted to talk about angel numbers today. I've been seeing a lot of them, and it's been popping up in my conversation a lot. But I mean, a lot of them. When I say a lot of them, too, like over the last few months, as I really started this enterprise, as I'm calling it, I've been getting a lot of angel numbers, and I don't know if you're familiar or not, but angel numbers correspond to numerology and the idea that each number carries an energetic resonance or is associated with a certain vibration, energetic vibration, like it has a symbolism or a meaning to it. 1 through 9. Zeros, I hear, are wild cards. They just can amplify or, well, we'll get into that later. But so angel numbers are usually repeating sequences of these numbers, meaning like a 111 or a 333 or 5555. The idea, again, is associated with this overarching belief or idea that the universe speaks to us through signs and symbols all the time. And one of the most common symbols or approaches that they use for us is through these number sequences to help give us guidance, to show us that they're present, that things are going in alignment or we're in alignment with the flow, what we should be doing, what our life is, our life paths. So I love the idea, though, coming from a more scientific and academic background of this idea of sacred geometry, or that the universal language of all creation is mathematics. It can all be broken down and understood mathematically. So like the Fibonacci sequence, I was talking with my sister earlier, and Lisa, my friend, hi, people are here. But these ideas that there are these forms and cycles, and again, it's all numeric. Astrology follows a lot of these mathematical calculations, but it uses the planets, stars, and timelines. Yeah, curious. So let's dive into a little about angel numbers, numerology. I really recommend playing first. You can always Google or find a site where you can find your life path number. If you want to dive into what numerology is and learn a little about that, again, there's a ton of websites. Just start perusing there, but there's a lot of literature on it too. But find your life path number, and that one is really easy. What you do is you break down your numbers. So you're going to take your birth date, obviously numerical. So for me, we'll say it's June 8th, 1983. And that's going to be 6/8/1983, and you would do 6 and 8, add those together, which gives me 14. And then 1983, if you add all those numbers together, 1983, you get 21. So we have 14 and 21. 4 plus 1, again, just get them down to their smallest units and then add them together. So 5 and then 21 makes a 3. 5 and 3 give you 8. So my life path number is an 8. And that has a certain meaning and like leadership and yeah, anyway, I'll let you look it up. But that's how you get your life path number. There is a whole system of it's like astrology. It's another modality, numerology, of using these numbers. People use these numbers to get all kinds of information about themselves, about the world, like a divination practice. But just curious to think, when you start looking at the world in these mathematical terms, and how if the spirit realm, the universe, is working through these different energetic vibrations and different dimensions and yada yada yada, well, you got a really fascinating study. So I just encourage that. But I want to talk about angel numbers specifically today, because that's what I've been experiencing a lot of. And I know a lot of people talk about it. And I've actually had people approach me about more information on it. So I'm going to break down how the universe uses angel numbers to guide us, to give us signs, to give us messages in that moment. My sister and I just did a Trauma Twins episode where we were talking about Laura Lynn Jackson's Signs book, The Secret Language of the Universe. Really recommend it. But she actually has a little section about numbers and angel numbers and how the universe uses them as one of the main forms of symbolism to communicate with us. So let me start with, how do you recognize a sign? How do you know if it's meant for you, or it's not just a random number sequence and you're just like, oh, it's just a phone number with, it happens to have 888, There's three things I always say that make up a sign, how you can tell a sign from just a random coincidence. And I call it the Trinity, the Holy Trinity. One, is it an like out of place? Is it a weird or a random happening? Like, the bird that lands right next to you while you're eating and it's staring at you and it's not like it's just an odd occurrence. You know what I mean? Is it unfathomable? No, but it's just, it strikes you as odd. Something's different about it. It has a different energy. The second one is what you're feeling or thinking in that moment, how it makes you feel. So you see that bird, is it making you feel warm, or are you scared like, God, I protect your food? Think about, oh wow, that was a very loud plane. But anyway, think about what you're feeling. What's the emotion that it elicits within you? So your gut. Signs from spirit are never fearful, and that's one of your guides. Be led by peace. So if it gets you on edge or it makes you uneasy, think about that. Spirit will never. It's always peaceful. It's always joy. It's always supportive energy. So be mindful of that. Also, that third piece, though, is going to be the timing. So you have a weird occurrence, what you're thinking and feeling in that moment, and the timing of it. Is it odd? Or think of the time, like when it's odd, what's the timing that's happened? Did it happen right after you had a fight with someone? Did it happen after you were thinking or feeling something about your grandmother that had passed? The timing or the moment when it happens is one of the most significant parts of this too. So, what's the season of your life that you're going through? Are you struggling, or are you making a big decision? For me, a perfect experience with angel numbers. After my divorce, I was looking for a place to live, and that's a huge step. It's the first place on my own, and I want to make sure I'm at somewhere I can just relax and start to heal and do the work and just rest after such a tumultuous, division in my life and upheaval. And I was actually supposed to go look at an apartment complex. I call them and I'm like, hi, I'm here, but no one's here in the office. And they're like, oh, you don't have an appointment today. I accidentally, and I think this is a spirit thing, I accidentally made an appointment to go to the apartment complex down the way, just down the same street, but it was on the water. And I just didn't, it wasn't even in my periphery. But anyway, long story short, I go to this apartment and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know if I can afford it. So I had that worry, and I was concerned about this life decision I was going to make. But I go and check the apartment out, walk around the property, and I'm like, let me check it out one more time. And so I go, and I had a good feeling about it. I felt like this is where I was supposed to be, but I was so concerned. Like, my bills were about to double. Everything was out of, like going up in chaos right now. So as I'm walking back to the office with her, I have all these thoughts and feelings swirling around in my head. I need guidance. I need help, peace about the situation. And I walk by one of the apartments, and the one I noticed, I look at their plaque, and it's apartment 1111. And I just knew that was my sign in that moment. You need to be here. This is for you. This is spirit, like giving you a wink or a nudge. Like, this is okay. We support this. This is why you're here. So it gave me that confidence to embrace this really vulnerable step, but spirit was going to take care of me. So that is a perfect example of how these angel numbers can show up in your life and how you can use them to help you navigate, to know that you're supported, that you're being watched, that you're connected to things higher than you, more than you, whether that's loved ones or spirit guides or just the energy of the universe, which is life forward, which is always growthward. So that's how you see a sign. The odd happening, the timing of the thing, and how it makes you feel, what you're thinking about, what your internal world is going through. So let that be your basis while we talk about these numbers. And like any signs and any messages or language with spirit, it's completely and entirely individual. It is a very personal language. What one sign means for me will not mean the same for you. And you've got to trust your intuition and your connection. Someone may see, a frog and think this, and someone else see a frog and think pestilence or something awful. It's just, there can be our human experience, our life experience is what dictates how spirit talks to us. So keep that in mind. Trust your intuition, trust what you're feeling and what you know. If it feels right, then it probably is for you. You know what I mean? Don't doubt it is what I'm trying to get at. So, okay. So we've talked about numerology, what it means, your birth date, go look that up, your life path number, just to dive in, what a sign means, how you can identify a sign, know that you're guided and it's coming from spirit, not just you rationalize or trying to make something, a pattern appear, which I'm sure a lot of people, I love my critics, come and be a critic. I want to hear your opinions too, because my background, again, as an academic, I have a lot of basis in empirical thought, and that's why my spiritual come to was so intense, because I had to deprogram a lot of what I had learned over the years to be able to open up and embrace a lot of what spirit was trying to talk to me, how it was trying to guide me, and where it was trying to guide me. So just think about it. Angel numbers, again, to be an angel number, typically it's considered 3 or 4 numbers in a sequence. So 3 repeating numbers or 4 repeating numbers. I've seen 5 repeating numbers. The more numbers, so that 3 versus the 4, like 111s, only intensifies the energy of it. So if it's 3 ones, that's your sign, that's your symbol. If you see 4 ones, then it's almost like spirit, like really saying, hey, no, really, we mean this a lot. Like, really pay attention to it. It's like a stronger emphasis on that energy of whatever the number is and the message potentially. So these, what I'm going to talk about are just some general ideas of what, according to numerology, again, you do your own research. It can mean whatever it means to you. Build your own relationship with spirit, but this is going to be like a starter guide to what angel numbers mean, and the energy of the numbers that can help maybe guide you and bring some clarity if you're starting to notice things, if you're starting to notice numbers. And again, a sign for you, if you're just finding this video, you're just stumbling upon it, and you've been questioning these things, it's synchronicity. This is for you. Listen, if you're curious about this stuff, honor it and just be open to it. Be curious, remain curious about it, and let spirit do its magic. Find the magic. So, okay, ones. Let's talk about ones. Obviously, I think everyone knows 1 is the beginning. It's where we start. In tarot, the aces are the primal energy. They're the base, uninhibited energy of a thing, right? Whether that's, the elemental ideas of like thought or material wealth or emotions. For me, in terms of the numerology, energetic vibrations of it, 1 is new beginnings, but it's the most general of all the numbers. It's like my sister always calls it a wink, like a cosmic wink. It's spirit just saying, hey, I got you. I see you. You're guided. We're here. We're letting you know that we're here. We're with you, that we are supporting you. For me, 111, especially 4 ones, 1111, is a sign of spiritual awakening or an expansion of awareness. That's when my attention is really drawn to something, that I really focus in and hone in on whatever I was thinking in that moment. So again, say I'm driving and I'm just thinking about like a choice I have to make, or my apartment. That was spirit nudging me, winking, we got you. This is for you. You're on the right path. We see you. We see this moment. You're not alone. That's all it has to be sometimes to change your day, to help support you and guide you in a new way. Listen to that. Lean into it. Follow that. Trust it. That's a big part of all this angel number 2. The more you start to trust these, the more spirit is going to start taking this initiative to talk to you more. Just like anything, the more you open the line of communication, the more it's going to come through. So be ready too. If you really want this, ask spirit. Send me signs. Ask spirit and they will send. They will always show up for you. Again, ones, I take into account what I'm thinking a lot. It's the idea of examining your thinking. Spirit likes to tell us, like, or bring attention to, hey, is there negative thinking here? Let's rearrange it with something positive. Worrying about finances, instead think trust, think gratitude, think these, be aware of your thinking and maybe catching yourself in the moments of of how you're processing that internal world. Another one is for manifesting, the idea again of that primal idea of the element. What can you manifest in this moment? What's a wish? I hear it sometimes said is it's the wish angel number. If something's coming along and you see it at the same time, and maybe you're thinking about a path or something you want to create, or someone you're talking to, it's that wish and that desire. Where can it lead you? If you are positive and if you open up to the potential of that law of attraction, 111 can be a lot about drawing what we want to us, what we desire. And there's a difference between want and desire, right? Desire's got that more profound impact. So when you see 111, know that you're supported, know that spirit is winking at you, and then also, what do you want? What are you longing for? What's that longing right now in your heart? What do you want to manifest in your life? So the person you want to be. Twos. I love twos. I see a lot of twos repeating. Just because I think the season I'm in right now, two is obviously about balance, harmony, two halves make a whole. So think of it as partnership, collaboration. You will often hear, if you do a Google search, twin flames, like our soulmate, that idea of relationships. Again, to what extent, that's going to be dependent on you. But when I say relationships, I mean business partnerships, friendships, family, romantic partners, relationship with ourselves, balance within ourselves, balance in your life. Not so much needing to find balance, but it is for me like a confirmation that things are going the way they should. I am being guided. I am on my path. I am either trying to realign or finding or walking in alignment. So 2 is a great number. It's just, it's again, it's a peaceful number. It brings a lot of peace about. Things are going according to plan. It's good. Things are in alignment. So that's just like a hug, just a hug from heaven. I love 222s. Collaboration can be one of the meanings too. Where in your life are you collaborating with other people? Again, is that business, or is that in your family? Maybe some healing that needs to happen, like a relationship mended. But think about harmony, the balance, again, finding balance and alignment, harmony with those around you, but again, within yourself. Threes, 333. This angel number is one of my favorite because this is the season for sure that I'm in. The last 3 months, 4 months, I've never seen so many repeating threes in my life. It's like I felt like I was almost like neurologically in trouble for a minute there, because it became a game. And I do want to say that with spirit, this is like a game. Spirit's got a sense of humor. It's got a love of just the shock and like catching you on your, getting you on your toes kind of thing. It's a fun dynamic in a relationship. So the more you lean into it, the more you're going to see these things and the more it's going to happen for you. So trust that. There's a faith component. I want to really like reaffirm that you need to be open to it for it to happen. But threes are all about divine guidance in the form of communication, but mainly creativity and self-expression. 3 is the number of creativity, of art, of speaking, again, communication, but speaking yourself, your truth, offering that and putting it out into the world. So when you see 333s, it's like think of it as like a time to study, an encouragement, an affirmation to learn, to find wisdom, to develop yourself, to develop whatever craft you're doing, whether that's, projects you're doing for work, or maybe you've just been inclined to start painting more. Where can you find that creative energy in your life? That's what it's drawing attention to. Usually when spirit wants us to share our creativity, to put that out into the world. For me, creating this divinity brand for the past few months, it lines up perfectly. It means spirit is with me in this step. One source I saw, Alana Fairchild, she does a lot of decks and she's written a lot of books, but a really great light worker, as she calls herself, but a sensitive. She talks about 333 is the number, especially 4 threes, is the number of the ascended masters, of the sages, the teachers. So this energy that comes with 3 is of learning, growth, expansion in the form of self-betterment. And again, sharing that with others. 3 can be a number of collaboration as well, too. Like in tarot, like the 3 of Pentacles. You think about that energy of like coming together to make something greater, something more beautiful. So I love threes. The my favorite part though too, it's got a playful. Out of all the numbers, 3 is the number of play, of exploration. So lean into that too. Like sometimes it's just, hey, fucking chill. Like just, hey, chill. You know what I mean? Have fun. Life is, no one's getting out of this. Like just have a good time. Enjoy it. It's only for a moment. Lean into the lightheartedness of what life can be, whether that's socializing or going out and connecting with your family or friends you haven't seen in a while. Life has to be a balance of work and play. So that creative, playful expression doesn't feel like work when we're doing it. It's a joy. It's that expression becomes a joy, an extension of ourselves, our heart. So yes, 3 is my favorite right now. I love my 3s, but 4 is an amazing number because it is about stability. 4, you think 4 corners, the foundations, foundational principles. The house has to go on a foundation, which is usually square or rectangular. You got to have that grounded, the base of a pyramid. 4 is about divine order. Stability, again, foundational, but protection. When I see 4s, I feel very protected. If I'm ever feeling like things aren't going my way or something's happening out of my control, a lot of times I'll get 444 just to, again, help my thinking come back into alignment with my heart and what I know at a spiritual level and a soul level, that I am guided, I am protected, and my team of light, whatever you want to call them, I am being guided. So trusting that. 4, I think strength, again, that foundational, but think firm and just bolstered. You know what I mean? Like strength in your purpose, in your passion and what you're pursuing. Trusting decisions that we make. That's a big one too. 4 is very much about trusting even when we don't see the results yet. That's part of the sowing and reaping, right? A lot of times we put out all this work and this effort into some things that don't come to fruition right away. It's 4, when you get 4 4s, it's about you're guided, you're protected. Keep doing the little things, making small steps towards your goals because you know that it's going to come together eventually. You can't do all the work and it not show for something eventually. It's going to come to culmination. There will be fruition. So trusting that process of little by little, doing the small things, chopping wood, as Colette Baron Reed says, like just doing the work, doing the dishes. It's the little things. I just thought about this, but one of the most spiritual acts we can do as people, because it's not just being spiritual and communing and like following spirit everywhere. It's also, we live in an earth material world. It's about maintaining. So some of the most spiritual things we can do is like doing the dishes, cleaning our house, doing the laundry, because it maintains that ability to live in a healthy way. It's showing up for yourself. So where can that energy of 4 apply to your life, relationships, your business life, the material aspects of your life? Just something to consider. But yes, 444, stability, protection, strength. Ask for assistance too if you see 444. That's a good note I want to put here. Ask spirit. We have free will. Spirit will always show up for us if we ask, but sometimes they won't get involved. They won't get involved usually unless we ask for help. So yeah, ask for 4. When you see 444s, just ask for a little extra love, a little extra help, and I promise it'll come to you. 5. Now we're getting into some big shifts, and that's what 5 is all about. 5 is about change. It is about transformation. It's about moving from one thing to another. 555s can also mean not be on your toes, because again, I don't want to put that negative connotation to it, but chaos, like necessary chaos, sometimes be ready for change. Life moves forward because things change. The only constant in life is change. It's how we look at it. Sometimes we don't want the change, but that change in our life, that horrible thing that happens to us in the moment, actually propels us to the better on the other side. And again, I don't want to put this out there where you start seeing 555 and you think, that a meteor's coming, or, an animal will get sick. It's not about that, but think more of like transformational growth, major shifts in life. But it can also be in spiritual life, like shifts in your perspective, shifts in dynamics between you and other things. Again, work, family members. Yeah, it's that energy of the pattern breaker too. It can be that simple. It's not quite the tower where everything's got to crumble, but sometimes it's just a shift in perspective that changes our life in a great way, in a really positive, beneficial way. A change of attitude. Think about when you see something a little different that brings you more peace than it did before. Again, necessary chaos. 555, let go and allow is like the energy I like to keep with this. If I'm seeing that, that's a little nudge from spirit to trust the process. Just lean into it. A lot of times when we get things that happen to us, and there's things out of our control, sometimes if you can embrace the opportunity of it, see it as an opportunity for growth, which is, you always hear it. It's like, oh, positive Polly over in the corner. But really, that is it. Like, something happens at work that gives you more work, but, you have to work with a new person or something now. But it is a new opportunity for a whole new realm of possibilities, like experiences, exchanges, relationship. There's just one thing leads to another. So look at 5 as the bringer of the next. I love that idea. 6. 666. 666. Like growing up in a church, this one, you want to talk about a mind? Like, this is 666 is the devil's number, right? Traditionally, which is so interesting because the actual energy, according to numerology, of 6 is about like healing, finding balance, and nurturing energies, whether that's with ourselves, with others, or with our relationship to things, especially in the material world. And I think maybe that like material wealth, substances, food, love, abundance, joy, art, nature, like those things, like the energy of things that we enjoy, that we relish, that we savor, but nurturing our relationship to those, bringing healing to those facets of our life. For me, in my dynamic with spirit, it appears when there is an imbalance in my life with whether that's my time management, my body, if I've been neglecting my body, like I'm not going to the gym like I need, which affects my mental health over time, if I'm not meditating enough. Think of 6 as the balance between, and I hate saying 69, but I love saying 69. But think of the inversion, right? Like the Cancer symbol. It is this idea of balance between the material and the spiritual, finding that harmony. Again, like 2, we need both. We need both of those aspects because we are both. We are souls having a human experience. So there's seasons of give and take, but if you're always pursuing the earthly passions, you'll find you're out of balance. Same thing if you're someone who only seeks the spiritual things, you'll find a lot of spiritual people have a hard time doing simple things like paying their bills because they're not about that stuff. Like, showing up on time, and like, it's a stereotype, but in my experience is what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't have your head in the clouds too much or your feet too on the ground where you can't dream, right? It's that kind of principle. 6, I want you to think about 2, especially like like in tarot. Again, I always reference tarot because tarot has a strong numerology or numerological aspect to it. 6 is the healing or restorative phase after that chaotic 5. After the chaotic energy of the shift, we need a season to recuperate. So think about 6s like that. If you're seeing 6, maybe spirit's telling you like, hey, slow down. Where in your life, like you just came out of something, maybe there's been a shakeup in a relationship, or maybe there's, again, turmoil at work. What in your life can use more of an awareness around it in terms of your relationships to it, a restorative healing aspect or touch Do you need a little more time by yourself, a little more self-care? Uh, However that looks, like just a better food, better, giving your body what it needs. Sevens. Seven is an awesome number. It's a powerful number, and it's considered, I think, one of the most spiritual numbers, or the most spiritual number. 777. You think of our mythology, seven dwarves, and it's a powerful number in our myths and just throughout time. Like, is it seven chakras, right? Like, just there's a lot of seven has been used in our esoteric traditions a lot. So seven, though, the energy of seven, highly spiritual, is about going inward. When you see seven sevens, it's a call to tune into your intuition, to focus inward on yourself, to withdraw. I like to think of the Hermit card, or the reclusive sage. That's the energy of seven, getting away, decluttering, to stand back from, and to take notice of what your gut's saying. What's your inner voice saying? Your truest self. What does it need in this moment? Seven is the number of, like, the sage, the spiritual wisdom, seeking out spiritual wisdom, things that we need in life, or perspective, spiritual perspective. So really stepping away from the material world and the material things that we have grown accustomed to, and looking at the bigger picture, right? Considering what the soul perspective is, the spirit perspective of things, like your life path, the bigger picture ideas. Sevens can represent a shift in your spiritual awakening, a moment where there are going to be some significant spiritual lessons on the way. If you're seeing 777 out, like, is there something that you've been dealing with that you really need some more attention with? Or maybe there's going to be a big shift, is what it could be signifying. Just, again, go inward. Everything's within you. Notice I said the Hermit card earlier. I like to think of the restorative solitude. So finding that quiet space, take some quiet time for yourself. Make more space for spirit to speak to you, to allow spirit to speak in, allow your inner voice to be heard. So yes, very spiritual number. Eights, though, everyone loves to see eights. Angel number 888 is all about abundance. And that doesn't mean just material wealth, but that's why we like the number so much, because it is like a nudge from spirit saying, good things are on the way, especially good things when it comes to money, a shift in your finances, abundance, prosperity, but also achievement. Think about achieving new levels, in whether that's job or at school, or things that have honor associated with them, is how I like to look at it. 8 is the number of empowerment too. So we see it's like this windfall of abundance. I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery, but things are going to be more stable for you financially in that sense. Or where can you work towards building more financial stability? What actions and choices can you make to keep yourself in that alignment, so you're attracting abundance to yourself? If 888 pops up, it's usually, it's not a warning so much. Again, everyone's different, but for me, it's traditionally like an encouragement of things are shifting for the better. Like, there's a new energy coming into your life with this abundance. Evolution, continuity, but like also there's a leadership aspect to this. I've heard and read a few times about how when we see 888, it's about taking more of like, 1 can be about leadership, standing out, coming out as a leader, following your intuition, trusting yourself. 8 has that guidance too, like maybe being a guide for others, to help guide others to higher understanding. A lot of times in my personal experience too, 888s, when I've seen this, it's been when I've been coming into a new season of understanding my relationship to wealth, my relationship to my material resources, or even my temporal resources, my time management, how to reframe my attitude towards abundance. This, for me, I like to think of 8 is associated with the law of attraction more than a lot of the numbers. 888 is about keeping your head and heart in alignment in the same space of trusting that abundance is the nature of the universe. Abundance is the normal of the universe. It's our lack, our idea of lack, that keeps us separated from seeing the abundance around us, seeing the opportunities that can bring or that allow that flow of abundance. Again, relationships, healthy relationships, opportunities to make money, to find money, to have money come to us. That's really what this is about. It's not so much, I saw an 888, I'm going to get, a check in the mail. It's really about what in your life, where are you allowing for that law of attraction, that attraction to happen for you? So being mindful, thinking positively about finances, not thinking in the lack mindset, releasing that. So close this out with 9. 888 is a great way to go, but 9 is, I love 9 because it's about cycles ending and beginning. It's the end of the numbers. We go back to 0 or 1, but 1 is all about new beginnings. 9 is the precursor. It is I think one of the most spiritually intense numbers because it is a release. It's the letting go. It's a shifting from one state to another. It's the in between, which is a powerful place. It is a powerful place to exist because you see and you feel all the potential of what's coming. Sometimes you don't, but when we release something, we make space for the new. And that is power. By shedding the old skin, think of like the metaphor of a snake or a crab. There is something in my eye and I want to be done with this. But yeah, the shedding or the act of letting go is an energetic release for accepting what is new and what is to come. I've been seeing a lot of 999s over the course of the summer because I've been giving myself the goal of like changing my jobs. I've been at Disney for years, but I've found my passion. I know what I want to do. I know what facets. I don't know how I'm going to get there completely to where I'm going to be in 5 years, but I know things are shifting. I am changing. I am in that in between, which is awkward, but I see the movement. I see the progress. I see the forward motion. And that's awesome because that's what life is about. It is about growing from one state of existence into another, to expanding, to becoming more, and to flourishing, to thriving. And you don't do that without letting go of what's behind you. Is that relationships? Is there an unhealthy relationship or someone you really love that that's not good for you now, where you're going? They just don't resonate like they did. They don't, and this could be friends. We outgrow friends at times. And that's part of the process. It hurts, but it also allows for the people that we need to come into our life. It allows for what we want and desire to have room to grow. It's hard to let go of things, but it's powerful too. No, I think of boundaries. No is actually a word of creation, which is actually a Madonna song, Power of Goodbye. I think. But no is a complete sentence because it draws a line. It creates space for us. It is a standard that allows us to define ourselves from the other, which is power. It is like a reclamation. That's how we assert our sovereignty, right? Where in your life are cycles ending? Where are things in your life when you see 999 that you can let go of, that you should, because it will help you? People, things, places. Maybe it's time to move somewhere. You've been feeling that where you're at doesn't feel like home anymore. 999 can say that there's shifts coming. Like you feel it in your bones. You feel it in your gut. Things are shifting. Trust your gut. With all of these numbers, I hope you got something out of this. I want you to start playing with spirit. Start playing the game. I call it a game because it's hugs. It's little winks from spirit that let me know they're around me. They're with me. They are guiding me. And that can be, the universe as well. The universe is with you. It is in your corner. It is not working against you. It wants you to thrive. It wants you to succeed and have the abundant, peaceful, joyful life that you're meant for. So trust it. Trust it. And ask spirit for some angel numbers. Ask for some signs. Ask for some numbers and see what happens. You can ask for lotto numbers, but I know it doesn't work. I promise. But you never know. I hope you have a good day and be on the lookout for more divinity content. I have a lot I want to talk about, and I'm hoping you're enjoying this with me. So have a good day. Bye.